Good afternoon, everybody. Just doing something a little bit new and different today. I'm gonna give you a tour of the room. That way I can show you a few pictures. So I'm gonna turn this around and kind of give you a tour and just okay, here we go. Hopefully y'all can see these. Try to turn the light down, maybe that'll make it a little bit easier. But this is a picture of Luke and all of us, and I'm gonna try to get the light situation a little bit better. It's got some backsplash on it. That's Luke, Abby, and Elijah. It's when we went to Niagara Falls. This was one summer when they came in. I was still with Bethany. It was just after Autumn was born. Right here. That I think is when he went on vacation with his cousin Austin, my little brother Dwayne and his wife. That's Luke and Abby and my first granddaughter Aubrey. That's Luke and Abby when they were babies. Luke and Abby at his graduation. Luke, Abby, and Elijah at his graduation. That's Niagara Falls again. I think that's Mammal, I can't tell for sure. That's Elijah photobombing us. That's the very last picture ever taken of Luke. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a really good picture. That's after his graduation up in Pennsylvania. Luke and his little brother. That's the second to the last picture ever taken of Luke. I wish I could get it. That's Luke at Niagara Falls. One of the few where we catch him smiling. And that's when they came in one summer. They were little. It was all just riding around goofing off. The graduation picture. All of us. My ex-wife. That's him and his little brother Elijah. And that's me and my 3 kids and their little brother Connor up in Pennsylvania. And I think that's all there. This is one of the things he got from Niagara Falls wall poster. That's the bluebird picture that I was telling y'all I found at Goodwill when I said I looked for stuff to start putting back on the walls. And it's another thing I found. Route 66 Cafe clock. It's pretty cool. And this is Luke's Dark Side of the Moon poster. He loved classic rock. That's his hat rack. All these hats are his. I think that's Realtree, Navy. I think that's Mossy Oak, Cincinnati, and UK Wildcats. And this is, like I said, some of his colognes and hair gels and all that stuff. And Rubik's Cube, and like I said, he's a red-blooded American. He liked flags, flag of Kentucky and flag of the U.S. And these just little doodads that he bought. And there's another of the last picture she ever took. The last picture he ever took. And so yeah, that's this was his room. This is where he lived. This is where I found him that morning. His bed laid right out here with the headboard down on that end. It's just it's very surreal and very unexpected, and I miss him a lot. And this is all the stuff that I got left. I told his mom I'd keep it if they ever wanted to come down and pick any of it up they could, but I got 3 totes bag out here. All that stuff's going to my aunt. She's gonna hopefully make me a quilt. All his old shirts and clothes and stuff. But that's it, so I'm gonna stop this right now. Hello everybody. We're gonna start episode 8 tonight. I hope you enjoyed that little intro that I did, showing you a little bit around the room, things that Luke had, and this is where he stayed, and that's kind of why I set my office up in here, so I feel closer to him and be around his things, and it just makes me feel better. Sorry, my sinuses are kind of stopped up tonight. I've been crying a little bit more today than usual, and when I do that, I get stopped up quite easily. So you'll have to bear with me there if you don't mind. So let's just talk about Luke for a little bit today. He, like I said, me and him was best friends, best buds when he was born. I never really truly knew the meaning of honestly complete unconditional love until the day he was born, and it was immediate. It was immediate that I loved him with everything and would give up everything just to protect him, and the same with all my children. I would do the same. I would give my life just so they would never have to feel an ounce of pain. But he was a good kid. He really enjoyed sports and video games and movies, and one of the things, he was so smart, he was actually teaching himself Japanese, and had gotten pretty good at it, when he, right there before he passed away, he understood things in a different way than most people do. It's the way that his brain was wired was, what I'm going to say is, it was wired superior to most. That kid was a genius. What else? Because I know you probably noticed I'm always wearing this New York Yankees cap. It's a cap that I had a long time ago, and back when Luke was smaller. He always liked it, so I gave it to him one summer when he was heading back, and let him keep it. And when we was going through his things, I come across it, and just decided that I was going to keep it, and start wearing it again. There's a couple of things of his that I keep close to me, and this is one of them. This is probably the most closest to my heart, because it's something I gave him come back to me. And I often feel cheated because I didn't get to see him reach his potential, but like I said, I will not question God's plan or God's will, because he's way smarter than I am, and I wouldn't even try to begin to imagine that I could even understand what his plan entailed and how it's all supposed to work out in the end. But I've put all my trust and my faith and my hope in God. It's all I've got left, and then I know that it's all going to come out okay in the end. When we all go home to be with the Heavenly Father, we'll all be together again, and He's prepared a place for all of us. The things I miss most about Luke is, the way we used to cut up and go on all the time, and we watched one of his, I'd say is probably his favorite 80s movie was Back to the Future. He liked that song, The Power of Love. Huey Lewis sang on there, and we'd watch that movie, the three of them, at least once a year together, and just had a good time, laugh, and we really thought that the guy that played his dad was a really funny fella, and he was, and sometimes I think about those things, and a feeling comes across me, like, and I don't know how to explain it. He's really gone, and it's just a very awkward feeling that you get. I guess anybody that's lost a child comes across that feeling from time to time where you just feel like it just hits you all of a sudden again, almost like it's brand new again. They're really gone, and you kind of get that, I don't know, it's jittery, I don't want to say jittery feeling, but it's like you're on the edge of a cliff feeling. And damnest thing is, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that you can do. You can accept it and move on. Not move on, never move on from them. How do I put this? You try to keep their memory alive for them. You keep their memories alive in your heart, and by talking to people and, talking about the things that you remember and all the good memories and the good times that y'all had together, and, it'll keep them alive, and it's healthy. It's healthy for you. You don't want to get stuck inside your head like we all do in those first several weeks after it happens, and I think and I'm not putting any more relevance on one or the other, but when it happens unexpectedly, as opposed to someone being sick for a while and then finally passing, at least, and I don't even want to say at least, in that situation, you do have time to get yourself ready. I know it don't make it any easier, and it sure as heck don't make it right or make any more sense. In no way, shape, or form should a parent ever outlive one of their children. It's just it's an unnatural order of things, and it just it tears you up. But the point I was trying to make is you can't stay inside your head like you are the first several weeks after the tragedy happens. After you are, you got. I feel like I've got a little bit, and I'm not going to say it's major, but some PTSD from coming in and finding my son, finding he had passed, and I mean because he was just so healthy, and he wasn't. He was only 29, and they did all that testing and autopsies and all that, and they didn't find any cause of death. So, so that's why I think I've got a slight bit of PTSD, because I'll think about that and it'll just make me, it'll zone me out. I'll get inside my head and I just got to think about other things and, bring myself away from that. Never in my life did I think I'd wake up and find one of my children passed away. It's just not right. It's not right in no way, in any way, shape, or form. You can twist it or turn it. It's not right. It should have been me. I'd lived my life. But God didn't want me. He wanted Luke, I suppose. If I had to choose between one or the other, I probably chose him too. He's a better choice. But yeah, he was so smart. He was very, very healthy, very athletic. He played high school basketball. He played baseball, I think, when he was in grade school and middle school. I can't remember if he played any when he was in. I think he'd done, because his coach had moved away, moved on from baseball by the time he got to high school. Still like to watch it, and we talk about it. Of course, he was a Reds fan, but I think they had a AAA team up there, the Binghamton. I think it was a farm team for the New York Mets or something. But I think they'd go up there every now and then and watch a game or whatever. But we always followed UK sports pretty heavily, and all the local teams, Indiana and Kentucky, of course, and Louisville and Western Kentucky, Moorhead and Murray and all them. We loved the basketball. We loved March Madness. We loved the NFL playoffs. We loved the college football playoffs. We'd watch them all together. I miss that. This time of season, it's really, really hard. Really, really hard. But what else can I say about Luke that I haven't told y'all? The best thing is just, not knowing what caused his passing. I go over that in my head over and over and over, and we are still waiting on that genetic post-mortem genetic testing to see if he had any genetic precursors to anything that could have caused this. I don't know, I'm guessing like maybe heart arrhythmias or aneurysms maybe, or seizures of some sort that we just never knew about. I don't know. It's just really weird. It's just really weird because he had been so fatigued, and he just kept blaming it on working out. And I know what he meant because I've worked out before so daggone hard that I had to take a week off, and all I wanted to do was sleep and not move at all. Hurt too bad. But he didn't say anything about hurting, really. He was just fatigued and tired. Said he felt like he just wanted to sleep all the time. So, when I hear that, I'm thinking definitely some kind of I don't know. I don't even want to guess anymore. I hate it. I hate being here. I hate that I'm going through this, and everybody that is in his family is going through it as well. And time don't make it any better. Just takes me farther away from the last time I seen him and talked to him. So whoever said that time makes things better, you can kiss my ass, because it doesn't. It doesn't at all. That's one of the dumbest damn things I think I've ever heard. And maybe if you love somebody, time ain't gonna do shit. Time just ain't gonna do anything. I mean, if you really, really love them, because you'll think about them constantly, and you'll have all the memories, all the pictures, all the videos, all the personal belongings, so on and so forth. And you don't want to let that memory die. I don't want to. I don't ever want to forget a doggone thing about my son and my best friend. He was my best friend from the time he was born and all the way up until, hell, even now I talk to him more than I talk to anybody that's living. Because he was just that special to me. And I'm not gonna let I am the keeper of his memories. That's one of the quotes that one of my friends from the support group told me, and I've taken that on, and I've taken that to my heart, because that really means a lot. I'm the keeper of his memories, and I'm not gonna let them die. I'm gonna hold on to them, and I'm gonna keep them fresh, and I'm not gonna let him. He deserves for his memory to live on as long as we are still alive and living. Me and all the people, his brothers and his sisters and his aunts and uncles and cousins. He deserves that from us. And this snowstorm that we're in the middle of right now, I guess it's actually quit snowing, but it's still out on the ground. It just took me straight back to last year, that snowstorm that come in, that we had to we got his funeral all put together pretty fast so we could beat that storm. And it just takes me right back there. Of course, this storm's a little bit later in January. That one was early January. This one's late January, but still a January snowstorm of proportionate magnitudes. Big ones, I guess you'd say. Bigger than the normal 3, 4, 5 inches, whatever. Enough to lock us up for a week and a half at least. But yeah, I'm gonna hold on to all of his things, and I've got I made a cedar chest to keep all of his keepsakes and belongings, and I got a bunch of stuff in there that I keep that, that's just for me. Drawings that he made. I got this one real big drawing that he made me. I got it framed. And I got all the cards that he gave me for Father's Day and Christmas and, birthdays and so on and so forth. Got all the ticket stubs to all the movies we ever went to. Got all them put up. Got the watch that my mom and dad gave him for his graduation. Got it put up. Just a lot of different things. A lot of different things in that cedar chest, his Dale Earnhardt blanket. I remember, I put that in there. Just a bunch of different things that he held near and dear that I now am going to keep safe. And, I did a shadow box shortly after his passing, but I ordered one and it was just a little bit too small, so I need to get back around to ordering another one and going ahead and getting that one put together so I can get that put up on the wall in here. I'd like to put it on the wall in here somewhere. I don't know which wall I'd put it on. I guess I could put it right below that Route 66. That Route 66 cafe sign there. That'd probably be a pretty good place for it. But I've got several little things in there that make me think about him. He's big. Like I said, he's big politics. We went and voted for that November right before he left us, and we got the I voted stickers, and he always kept his. I got all them put back, and I put one of them in that shadow box. Of course, one of his pictures, and a little American flag pin that he'd like to wear. Just all kinds of stuff. And he I just can't say enough about him. I know every one of y'all would have loved him. He would have loved all of y'all. He would have he got along with anybody and everybody. And he was so fun to be around. God, I just hate this. I just hate this. It's going on about 25 minutes, so I'm going to try to cut this one short because I still got to add that other video to the front and splice it all together and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to get on here and just talk about Luke a little bit. Say a few things about him and, keep his memory alive and just keep this rolling. There's a bunch of funny stories that I could tell. And I think maybe in the next video I'll tell some of the stories of the stuff we got into as he was growing up. Maybe make it a little bit more lighthearted, and I think that'd be a good idea. I believe that's what I'm going to do for the next episode. But anyway, I'll jump off here. Like I said, it's going on 25 minutes, and then I got another 5-minute video I got to add on to the front. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for all your support, everybody that's been listening. If you don't mind, just like the videos and share them, and let everybody know that they're out here, and I really do just want to reach out and help people. And so, yeah, and if you want to, just give me a follow, subscribe to my channel. It's free. It's you don't pay anything. It's just make it easier for you to find the videos, even though I do put them on my Facebook page every day. But anyway, thank all of y'all, and I just want y'all to know that I've keeping y'all in my thoughts and prayers, and sending you good vibes. Keep safe in this weather. Keep warm and bundled up, and don't need anybody getting any pneumonia or the flu or hypothermia or any of that. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be praying for you. And I love y'all. All right, well, I'll catch you next time.